Hello, my name is Michael Evans. I'm a faculty member at Miami University, and I'm also a member of the AERA SIG Family School and Community Partnerships. And today is the second in a series of video blogs that we are conducting with journal editors who are interested and receptive to people who do research in our field. And so we're very lucky today to be joined by the co-editors of the new Journal of Family Diversity and Education, Monica Miller-Marsh and Tammy Turner-Vorbeck. And I'm going to turn it over to them and ask them if they could introduce themselves and tell us a little bit about how you came to be the co-editors of this journal.
Okay, sounds great. Well, I'll step in. This is Tammy talking, Turner-Vorbeck, and I would like to begin by thanking Michael for the opportunity. This is really exciting. The support for the journal and getting the word out there obviously is really important to its success. And our hearts and souls are in it. Monica's and mine, along with several other people who've already been contributors. And we're at work on the second issue right now for the fall. And so this is very timely for us. Some background on me, I'm an adjunct faculty member at Purdue University, where I teach graduate courses in curriculum theory, multicultural education, and philosophy of ed there. I just finished a 2-year term as the chair of AERA Family School Community Partnership SIG, and Monica is in that role right now. Monica and I together co-founded the Family Diversity Education Council about 5 years ago when we saw a hole in the field of homeschool community research where family diversity was underaddressed. And so now we have this new journal, the Journal of Family Diversity and Education, that's affiliated with that council, and it's housed at Kent State with Monica, and we launched that last spring. And so that kind of brings us to why we're here today.
Great, thank you. Monica?
Michael, I echo Tammy in thanking you for giving us the opportunity to talk about the journal. I am an associate professor in early childhood education, and I'm the director of the Kent State University Child Development Center. And the Child Development Center is a nationally recognized lab school that models best practices in early childhood education. We also prepare future teachers, and we generate research to inform practice. So my research areas of interest include early childhood education, the formation of teacher identities, and of course, family diversity.
Wonderful. Well, thank you again for joining us. So perhaps you could start by telling us a little bit about the mission of the journal and who you believe is your core audience that you're trying to reach.
Okay, I'll answer that question, Michael. This is Monica. The Journal of Family Diversity and Education really provides a forum for researchers, graduate students, and professionals who are working alongside families in schools so that we can be in conversation with one another as we're all working towards redefining notions of family and also renegotiating relationships with family school community partnerships. And our hope is that the connections that are made within the pages of the journal are positively going to impact and transform curriculum, pedagogy, and policy.
That's wonderful. Could you tell us a little bit about how you perceive the place of the journal in the broader educational research community and how the journal might differ from other journals that might also be interested in this topic?
Sure, I'd be happy to answer that. This is Tammy speaking, and I would start by saying that, well, we all know that education itself is a very large interdisciplinary field, and it draws upon principles of fundamental theoretical work from several areas, and it sort of exists at the intersection of theory and practice. So within that larger field, there are many discourses that get lost or lose the prominence that they deserve. So we have found family diversity to be one of those underrepresented areas, and that's where our passion lies. And in the creation of the Family Diversity Education Council, and then subsequently the Journal of Family Diversity and Education, we have endeavored to secure and to open up that space for researchers to collaborate and to share their important work. What makes us different from typical journals is that we are small, and that allows us to be stealth while remaining very rigorous. That is our goal. So we could consider ourselves, we joke between ourselves about the JFDE being akin to a boutique journal. And in that moniker, what we mean is that we've essentially stepped away from larger models, mega education journals where it's a one-size-fits-all sort of approach, and we've carved out a unique space where that work that might otherwise be so specialized in its focus that it goes unappreciated or misunderstood and consequently unpublished can find a vibrant and relevant intellectual home and with a very targeted audience.
Wonderful. I love that term, boutique journal. I think that's great. So, of course, members of AERA are going to be interested in participating in this wonderful new journal. So, what are you looking for specifically when you're considering articles and submissions? Or perhaps another way to pose the question is, what advice would you give to researchers who are interested in publishing in your journal?
Well, Michael, we are looking for critical pieces that really work towards redefining notions of family and renegotiating the relationships within family school community partnerships. And when people email or call and ask me, do you think my article will fit here? What I ask them to do is encourage them to visit our website and read the articles that have already been published by others to help them decide if their work can add to the conversation on more inclusive curricula in school.
Great. And maybe you could briefly describe for us what the current review process looks like right now for the JFDE.
Monica, would you like me to jump in? Why don't you do that? Okay, sure. Well, first and foremost, obviously, to maintain rigor, we have anonymous reviewers, and we hand select them as executive editors. And because we're small and we can do this, each individual reviewer for each submission. So these reviewers are the leading thinkers and publishers in the broader education field who, like the journal itself, do critical work, as Monica mentioned, and they focus upon issues that are related to diversity. We are then able to compile and consider the reviewers' remarks and recommendations and send off a set of reviewer remarks and queries to the submitters if they're positive, obviously, and it looks like it's going to be a good fit for the journal. A few iterations of refinements happen back and forth, and then we end up with a highly refined and relevant piece of research that's ready for dissemination through the journal. And I might add, I think it is our honor and our privilege to be able to shepherd such important critical work out into that public domain.
Wonderful. And I think it's also worth mentioning that it is an open journal. And so practitioners can access the articles. They don't need to have a subscription. Is that correct?
Yes. Thank you for mentioning that, Michael.
It's wonderful. Well, I think to wrap up, I would like to know what do you see as, what are your hopes for the future of the journal? You're publishing your second issue this fall, and where would you like to see the journal be down the road?
Well, I think as Tammy said earlier, and we all kind of chuckled, we do refer to the Journal of Family Diversity and Education as a boutique journal. It's narrow in focus, and it's currently being published only twice a year. So, of course, we'd like to see that grow, possibly expanding our publications up to 3 or 4 times a year. And we have also been toying with the idea of offering a symposium or a mini conference to bring our authors and readers together so that we can have some of these critical conversations, face to face rather than just through the pages of the journal.
That sounds wonderful. Well, I'd like to thank you both again for joining us in this conversation. And for the people who are listening to this interview, again, I'd like to reiterate that's being sponsored by AERA's SIG for Family School and Community Partnership. If you're not a member of the SIG already, we would, all three of us, I think, would strongly encourage you to please sign up. We have lots of wonderful events, and we would love for you to be a part of the conversation. Thank you both.
Thank you,